Hey guys, welcome back. It's Redux. Thanks again for joining me here with another video. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of games where I play as Nod and I use the Giga Cannon very effectively. And if you don't know what the Giga Cannon is yet, you gotta try it. It's like the MLRS, but it's a Nod version, and it fires very strong lasers that can hit multiple units, multiple tiles at a time if there is a concentration of enemy units that are next to each other. So Giga Cannons are very strong when it comes to dealing with ground units. Now, I'm gonna cut it down to just my vision. Let me know if you guys want to see the full map, but I think it's better to show you guys the replays with just what I'm seeing. But anyways, I'm going to send my militant to the top, of course, as he's got laser squads trying to take out my harvester in this first game here. And of course, I can't have him do that. I got a flame squad on the bottom because I know he's got a barrack at this point. I send my militant to the left-hand side to see if I can scout something. I see the double Harvey, and if you look at my opponent's units, he's got a basilisk, he's got scarabs, he's got giga cannons, he's got some scary units there. He sends out one chem buggy, seeing that I have mainly an infantry army composition here. But I send an attack bike up north to deal with the harvester so I can get some juicy crystals. I don't want it to farm, of course. Build another attack bike to deal with a chem buggy. You'll notice that there are quite a few Nod players that try to go into this chem buggy and attack bike build or something of that sort. And the chem buggy can pretty much kill any infantry units. So you really need to build vehicle units or air units to deal with the chem buggy. It's very hard to destroy the chem buggy with the infantry units. Now, at this point, I kill one of his harvesters. And I decide I'm just going to rush his base because I feel like, hey, you know what? My opponent is not being as active at this point. I'm not sure what's going on. But I start firing it up with my lasers here. And you can see that laser beam just, hitting multiple tiles. Once the laser gets connected at this point, you can see it is charged up and it's hitting multiple tiles at once, making a Giga Cannon very powerful. The longer they fire, the longer that laser gets charged up, and it will hit multiple tiles, even buildings like the base. So they also make an excellent unit to do some fun base rushes if you get the chance. Alright, this will be the second game. Once again, Nod versus Nod. And my opponent, once again, will go into the Jade Commander while I still keep Commander Seth. Once again, I'm going to cut it down to just my view. I go into a Harvester, and once again, open up with a Barrack as my units. What I want to start off with is always the Militant, as it is my cheap scouting unit. And I see him going for the Laser Squad. So what I'm going to do is try to harass this Laser Squad here a bit. Here and there, I go for a Flame Squad immediately, knowing that most of the times he's going to go into a Flame Squad. I mean, he could go for a Chem Buggy. He does have the Chem Buggy indeed, because like I said, a lot of these Nod opponents try to bring Chem Buggies and Scorpion Tanks, Attack Bikes, or Giga Cannon in this case, which is what my opponent has. But I only see Flame Squads, of course. And I have a Militant and a Flame Squad. While he has two Flame Squads, so I have to be kind of careful here, as he will beat me in the infantry fight. I have to build more Flame Squads ASAP. And what I'm going to do, of course, is try to counter his infantry play here. Now, at this point, he actually goes for a second Harvester. You guys see that coming down there. I don't know he has a second Harvester, but he does have one, because you can see he has an artillery, and he's got the other Temple of Nod unit, the Cyborg. So of course he wants to harvest as many crystals as he can. And you can see a Chem Buggy now finally coming out, and he's definitely going to try to go for that he's definitely going to go for that Temple of Nod as quick as he can here. I still don't see his double harvester. Keep that in mind. I go for my first Giga Cannon here. It's going to laser it up. Chem Buggies tearing apart all my Flame Squads here, because Chem Buggies are just that strong against infantry units. He goes for a Giga Cannon of his own, which I'm a bit surprised by. My Giga Cannon will be charged up at this point though. So Giga Cannons will beat the other Giga Cannon. Oh, and then this part right here, guys, that missile did not detonate on the gas cloud because the gas cloud expired before the missile hit. So I got very lucky there, or it would have killed my Giga Cannon as well. But anyways, the guy who places his Giga Cannon first, and if the Giga Cannon is attacking first, just like the MLRS, will beat the other Giga Cannon because you're already charged up. Now you can see my opponent has double Giga Cannons, and it's charged up. But now he's got to move his Giga Cannon towards my Giga Cannon, and you'll see my Giga Cannon will get to attack first. And you can, I'm going to slow it down here. It's a 2 versus 1 fight here. He's got 2 Giga Cannon versus 1 Giga Cannon. But I was able to attack his Giga Cannon first, while his second Giga Cannon was sort of out of position. His second Giga Cannon was not firing at the same time against my Giga Cannon, nor did he target my Giga Cannon properly. So I won that by taking out both of those Giga Cannons with just a single Giga Cannon here. And now you're going to see 2 Giga Cannons getting charged up. Let me slow it down because this is so beautiful, guys. When you see that laser lighting it up, you can see it burns down infantry units relatively well. So if you have somebody that can block the Giga Cannon, block for you, you know, if you can put a unit like to wall off your opponent's unit from getting too close to your Giga Cannon, they can keep firing from afar. And you see that I'm tearing apart at his infantry units with my Giga Cannons. And this is just so cool, guys. I love that charged up red laser beam. You know, it's just so powerful. It's so beautiful to look at. And that one single Giga Cannon is just not dying. My opponent goes for an artillery. But at this point, the missile's almost done. My Giga Cannon finally does go down there. And I'll tile block him at this point. But I did some weird shenanigans there with my bike. His artillery gets set up a little bit too late there. And I captured the missile, I win. But you guys get to see some beautiful glow up, charged up beams from the Giga Cannon. I just love using these guys. These guys are amazing and very, very good to use when you bring in the War Factory.
Warning.
And this will be the final game. Gotta love all these challenge battles, by the way. But anyways, my opponent this time will be playing as GDI, and he has Colonel, no, not Colonel Jackson, Lieutenant Armstrong. That's right. Anyways, I'm gonna just go to, whoa, that's his view. I'm gonna go back to my view here. Notice his unit levels are very high, and you can see he has 4 Tech Lab units, including the Kodiak battleship. This guy's a scary opponent. He has a level 10 commander, and all of his units were at somewhere around level 10. He's got very, very strong units. So this is something I don't know, of course, because you don't get to see your opponent's levels. But I see his level 10 shockwave there. I've got to immediately deal with it because I know he's going to be pumping out more shockwaves. He goes for a level 10 minigun turret on the top as well. And he pretty much wins the infantry fight here, which was unfortunate for me. I could not take out his level 10 shockwave with my 2 units. I just keep building Flame Squad. You know, you just have to continuously keep up the momentum. Even though he's got higher levels on the infantry unit, I just have to play it a bit smarter. I always try to get 2 Flame Squads or a Flame Squad on a militant to target one of his shockwaves because that's the best thing to do. As you guys can see, I'm going to move 2 of my Flame Squads towards his shockwave there. And this guy's ideally, of course, wanting to most likely go for a double harvester. And I think at some point he does because he has 4 Tech Lab units. He doesn't build a shockwave. Notice how he does it. He's saving his crystals right now. He actually doesn't build a double harvester. I thought he was going to, but he doesn't. But anyways, he's going to continuously try to contest for this missile, which is good on his part. He does take control of that top launch pad. I built 1 attack bike knowing that the missile's almost done. And I just have to tile block his shockwave on the bottom, and I capture the missile here. So it was good for me. He builds 1 jump jet to deal with my bikes. And I keep building flame squads to deal with his infantry units. Now he builds a turret, and I thought he would go for a double harvester, but I kind of forgot how this game went. So he is actually, oh, there we go. Yeah, he goes for a double harvester now. I knew that he was going to go for it at some point, but he goes for a double harvester now. And I do kind of think that he has a double harvester at this point. We do want to take one of them out. He moves his shock jump jet on the top to try to take out one of my harvesters there. And I see he has double harvesters. So with my tank, I am ideally trying to take out this harvester as best as I can. I build some more flame squads to deal with his jump jets here. Because I know this guy's going to have some very, very high level tech lab units, and I don't want to see them. I built 1 Giga Cannon here, and Giga Cannons, once again, are very powerful at dealing with ground units. And I decided to laser it up here against that harvester. Missile was almost done. I actually almost won the game at this point. Now, he can't move his jump jet right into the area where my flame squads are because I'm going to kill his jump jet, of course. And that laser is just doing a 3-way ton of damage, including to the shockwave, including to the jump jet. But you can see at the top there, my laser cannon, my Giga Cannon, is just charged up. Once again, I'm just slowing this down because when you slow down and watch the Giga Cannon going ham with its lasers, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful sight to watch. And that 3-way connecting the dot, these laser squads are just connecting these dots with that laser. And the Giga Cannon takes out 2 infantry units by itself, really, to be honest. It didn't really have any help there. And just by connecting those dots in a 3-way, boom, splat, boom, I was able to control that missile at the end in the top launch pad. I really, really love Giga Cannons. They're definitely very, very fun to use. And if they're charged up on that laser, it's extremely fun to watch your opponent's units going down in mass. It's crazy. These guys are awesome, and I definitely advise you guys to use the Giga Cannon like many other players are doing, because they are like the MLRS. They're very good at dealing with the ground units, especially vehicles. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, let me know what you guys think about the Giga Cannon, and I'll see you guys next time.